السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Hello everyone, this is Liquidity Club by Ahmed Shawi. Today is Sunday, the 15th of December 2024. I'll be doing the weekly market review. Just before going into the weekly review, I just want to point out to something that we have reached to the last 2 weeks of December. From the last 2 weeks of December and on to the second or the third week actually of January, we don't expect much of price action. That doesn't mean that you cannot expect good price action conditions, but we are not expecting much of the markets. So if you want to trade, you can continue to trade, but you just gotta take it easy with the leverage that you're risking, and you just have to risk less in these types of conditions. Last 2 weeks of December and the first 2 weeks of January. Let's get started. Uh, Starting with DXY, here we have the weekly time frame chart. You can see how we're still in a this is a parallelogram here. You can see how since mid-September, almost, or late September, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 weeks of up close candles. This is 8 weeks, 2 months of up close candles. A few weeks ago, here we have a down close candle retracing into the internal range liquidity right there, and price has started to resume the buy program here. So we're looking for price to run up here to the rejection block, to the midpoint of that, or the encroachment of that premium wick and the high of that wick right there. So we're still in that buy program. We don't try to pick the top in buy program, and we don't try to pick the bottom in the sell program. Going to the daily time frame chart, you can see how price formed a low here, a high, broke down lower, took out the sell side liquidity. A lot of people will be shorting here, thinking that this is a bearish breaker and the favor gap. Price took out the low one more time, retracement, and then took out the low one more time. So you see that sell side liquidity has been sold 1, 2, 3 times, and price has started turning up higher. So looking at the downside, you can see that pretty much price has made this area efficient right there, and it has broke to the upside. From here, all I'm seeing is higher prices reaching towards the rejection block here, which is the candles highs here. You can see how they're relatively at the same level. We have the midpoint of that long discount wick, premium wick right there, and we have the high right there. So I'm looking for higher prices going to the end of the year. That's going to be pretty much it for DXY. Going to ES, here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. You can see as well ES is also pushing to the upside, but here for ES we've formed an internal range liquidity right there. We had a buy side liquidity here, which was the external range liquidity at the time when we're trading here. Price had a retracement and then ran up higher one more time, taking out the external range liquidity. Now, to make the market efficient, we'll have to see a retracement into the fair value gap here. I'm including this volume balance as well because it is considered with the fair value gap as one area to be looking at. So that's that busy buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So this area is inefficient with sell side delivery. So if the market wants to make this area efficient, it will have to deliver some or provide some sell side delivery into this area, which is considered the fair value gap. So I'm looking for price to retrace into this fair value gap. That would be my low hanging fruit target next week. Going to the daily time frame chart. Now here's something interesting. We have these relative equal highs as you can see here, and we have the area here that I've been talking about as price might trend down lower. We have relative equal lows here as well. So going into next week, I will have to wait and see what price takes out first. If price reaches out to take out the buy side liquidity first, which what I want to see, then if price wants to continue running to the upside, I would first want to see price trade down lower and then run up higher. But if price wants to top out here and start trading down lower, I want to see price takes out the relative equalize here and start running down lower into the favor gap here, the weekly favor gap. Lower than this favor gap, if price is animated to the downside, we have this sell side liquidity. Below the sell side liquidity, we have this daily favor gap right there. So that's how I'm looking at it here at the moment. That's going to be pretty much it for ES. Going to NQ, here I'm viewing the continuous contract and I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. The same thing can be mentioned for NQ as well. We have this favor gap, the busy buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that I'm expecting price to retrace towards going into next week. Let's go to the daily time frame chart. You can see This is the weekly time frame chart, and this is down from the weekly time frame chart to the daily time frame chart. So we have just above this favorite gap, we have this sell side liquidity right there. So if price wants to run down lower, we have this sell side liquidity. Below the sell side liquidity, we have this favorite gap. So the high, which is the low of this candle, which is this sell side liquidity, the constant catchment, which is the midpoint of that favorite gap, the weekly favorite gap, and the low of that favorite gap, the weekly favorite gap, which is this candle's high right there. So if price wants to retrace down lower, these are the targets that I'm looking at here regarding NQ. That's going to be pretty much it for NQ. Going to Euro USD, also known as the fiber. Here I'm viewing the weekly time frame chart. You can see for EU, we had a sell program since late September as well, just like the XY, but it's vice versa because it's a contradictory market. So it's inversely correlated with the XY. Price has a retracement here into the SIBI, sell-side imbalance, buy-side inefficiency. And then we're starting to see some signs that price wants to break down lower since we close below the midpoint of the discount wick right there. Now, since we close below it, now this is considered as a premium wick. Anything that is above market price is considered premium. Anything that is below market price is considered discount. Going to the daily time frame chart, this is the midpoint of the premium wick. Now it's considered premium wick because we're trading below it. Price, I don't think price will be retracing anytime sooner because if you see here, everything is efficient. It might retrace one more time towards this favorite gap here. We have a small favorite gap, the volume imbalance actually. The price might retrace here as in a manipulation and then just break down lower towards this inside liquidity here. We have equal lows right there. So that's what I'm looking at here for EU. Going to pound USD, also known as the cable. Now regarding GU, the same thing can be mentioned. We broke down lower here. We had a retracement into internal range liquidity, this SIBI, and we've closed below the midpoint of that discount wick, but now it's considered premium wick because we're trading below it. I'm looking next to this level right there, which price stopped at right there and then reversed to seek some kind of an efficiency by trading into the internal range liquidity. So I'm looking for price to trade down lower, take out this low, and reach to this sell side liquidity right there. Going to the daily time frame chart, the same thing can be mentioned. If price wants to retrace, I'm looking for price to retrace towards this daily favorite gap right there. That's a good area to be accumulating shorts and then offsetting these shorts anywhere in this area. So think of it as price would open, run up higher. So this is where I'll be looking for some shorts, and then I'll be looking for any of this area here to be my stop loss, and then I'll be aiming for price to trade down lower, taking some profits here at the sell side liquidity, and we have just below this sell side liquidity, we have this favorite gap. I don't think it's shown here, but you go to your daily time frame chart, you see it just below the sell side liquidity. This sell side liquidity, you have a favorite gap right there. So this is not an advice for you to go and short GU, but this is what I'm looking at in terms of what the market is presenting to me of information and intel. I'm trying to use that intel to utilize it. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it for this weekly review. If you have any questions or you want me to go over any of information, please let me know. If you have any ideas for videos that you want me to create, educational videos that you want me to produce in the future, please do let me know in the comments down below. Until I talk to you next time, be safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.